Ever have that feeling like you're doing all the things, checking the boxes, maybe even making good money,
Mm.
but deep down something feels off, like you're just drifting.
Oh, absolutely. That sense Thoreau called quiet desperation, it's surprisingly common. You might look successful on the outside, but inside you feel kind of stuck.
Yeah, like you're not really living as your true self.
Exactly. It's often a sign that you're not aligned with what truly matters to you.
Well, if any of that sounds familiar, you're definitely in the right place for this deep dive. We're going to unpack some really powerful ideas today to help you break free from that stuck feeling and start living with more purpose.
Right. We're drawing heavily from Passion Struck by John R. Miles. And this isn't just theory, it's meant to be a practical guide, real tools for intentional living.
Our mission here is simple. Pull out the actionable stuff, the key insights that can help you, listener, spark your own sense of purpose.
Let's do it.
Okay, first, big idea. Intentional living sounds, well, intentional. But what does it really mean in practice?
Well, it's more than just like setting goals. It's about really understanding what you're aiming for. And maybe just as importantly, what you don't want. It's about directing your energy consciously.
So that's the opposite of just, reacting all day.
Totally. Think about unintentional living. It's like being a pinball, right? Just bouncing off whatever comes your way, no real direction.
Yeah, just reacting to emails, requests, problems.
Exactly. Intentional living means you're aware, you're consciously engaged, you're deciding the direction, not just being pushed around.
And I guess that lack of intention, that's where the dissatisfaction creeps in, even if you're achieving things.
Precisely. You can climb the whole ladder and realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. If you're not clear on your why, external success, promotions, money, whatever you can feel, hollow. John Miles talks about his own experience, right? High-flying corporate job, looked great on paper.
It felt empty inside.
Yeah, total disconnect. He wasn't living his purpose, but maybe society's or someone else's idea of success.
The book uses this image, the life stool. Can you explain that?
Right, think of your life like a stool. It needs several legs for balance. Your career is one leg, sure. But there's also family, relationships, health, passions, your values.
Oh, okay, I see.
If you put all your weight on just one leg, like the relentless grind of work.
The whole thing gets unstable.
Exactly. It leads to burnout, you lose passion, the whole structure weakens. You need balance across those legs.
It reminds me of that Steve Jobs quote. Something about work filling a large part of your life.
And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do.
Yeah, that one. Considering how much time we spend working, it feels crucial that it means something, doesn't it?
It really does. Aligning your work and your life with your intentions, it shifts everything. It's not just obligation anymore.
Okay, that makes sense. Intentionality is key. But how do you figure out what your intentions should be? What you actually value?
Good question. That brings us perfectly to the next key lesson. Identifying and aligning with your core values.
Core values, your big why.
Exactly, that's the engine. Your core values are those fundamental beliefs that, ideally, should guide your choices and shape what you aspire to. Purpose doesn't just appear, it grows from understanding and living by what truly matters to you.
But it's so easy to get caught up in, well, the superficial stuff, isn't it? Money, prestige, what other people think.
Oh, definitely. Society bombards us with messages about what success looks like. Usually it's material things or status, but those rarely lead to deep fulfillment. True values are things like connection, integrity, growth, maybe service, family, health, love, the deeper stuff.
So how do you cut through that external noise and find your own core values?
The book has some pretty insightful, almost uncomfortable questions for self-reflection.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like, what do you lie about?
Ooh, okay. Why that?
Because often what you lie about reveals a gap between your actions and your true values, or maybe something you wish were true but isn't. It points to inconsistency.
And the other one was, whom do you envy? That seems negative.
It can feel that way, but envy can be a powerful signal. It often highlights something you deeply desire or value, but feel you're lacking. It's not about wanting what they have necessarily, but maybe the quality they embody or the path they're on. It points to an unmet need or value.
So these questions help reveal the disconnects.
Exactly. They help you dig under the surface.
You mentioned Steve Jobs earlier. His commitment to his vision seems like a great example of someone living by core values.
Absolutely. His focus on simplicity, on innovation, on user experience, those weren't just business tactics. They stemmed from deeply held convictions. That clarity fueled his drive and, well, led to revolutionary products.
Okay, so for someone listening, how can they start identifying their values, practically speaking?
Think about peak moments. When did you feel most alive, most proud? What were you doing? What values were in play? Also, think about what makes you really angry or frustrated. Strong reactions often signal a core value being violated.
So pay attention to those strong feelings, positive and negative.
Yes. Jot things down. Look for patterns. Your core values will start to emerge from that reflection.
Right. So we've got intentional living, we've got identifying core values, but knowing isn't enough, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
That leads straight into the third crucial lesson. Taking bold, aligned action. Becoming an action creator.
Action creator. I like that. It's about actually doing something.
Precisely. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's about bridging the gap between intention and reality. People who live purpose-driven lives aren't usually fearless. They just find the courage to act, despite the fear of failure or the unknown.
That's a key distinction. Courage isn't the absence of fear.
Right. It's acting anyway. And the book talks about this action loop.
The action loop, what's that?
It's the idea that action creates momentum. Even one small step, if it's aligned with your values and intentions, generates energy and motivation for the next step.
Like a domino effect.
Exactly. It breaks that inertia, that feeling of being stuck in planning or worrying mode. That first little action builds belief.
So it's crucial not to just wait around for the perfect moment or perfect plan.
Definitely not. That's the waiting game. And it's a trap. Passion-struck people, as the book calls them, have an action-first mindset.
Get moving. Figure it out as you go.
Pretty much. They understand that waiting for 100% certainty is often just procrastination in disguise. Bold action, even if you make mistakes, teaches you faster than waiting does.
The book mentions people like Wendy Lawrence, the astronaut.
Yeah, she faced rejection after rejection trying to become an astronaut, but her passion drove her to keep taking action, keep applying, keep training. Incredible persistence.
And Mark Cuban.
A classic example of decisive action in business. Not afraid to make big moves, take risks based on his convictions and analysis. That action bias served him well.
So it's about big, bold moves sometimes, but not always, right? What about daily life?
Great point. It's also about micro choices.
Micro choices.
Yeah, the small everyday decisions. Choosing to spend 15 minutes on that passion project instead of scrolling. Making that difficult phone call. Opting for the healthy meal. These tiny intentional choices, when repeated consistently, build habits and patterns that automatically propel you towards your bigger goals. They compound.
Okay, that makes it feel much more achievable. It's not just about quitting your job tomorrow, but about these small, consistent actions.
Exactly. It starts small, it builds momentum.
So let's bring it all together. We've talked intentional living, finding core values, becoming an action creator. For that listener who started this deep dive feeling kind of stuck, what's the takeaway?
The core message, I think, is empowerment. You can change that feeling. It's not about waiting for purpose to find you. It's about actively cultivating it. By choosing your direction consciously, getting crystal clear on what truly matters to you, and then taking consistent, aligned action. You move from drifting to driving.
From passenger to pilot of your own life.
Beautifully put, yes.
So the challenge then, if you could challenge our listener to make just one passion-struck decision today, right now, what would it be?
Okay, here's the challenge. Identify one value that truly resonates with you after this conversation. Just one. Now, think of one tiny action seriously, tiny that you can take today that honors that value or moves you even an inch closer to a life aligned with it.
Could be anything.
Anything. Send one email. Make one call. Write down 3 things you're grateful for related to that value. Schedule 10 minutes to brainstorm. Just one small, intentional step. Do it today.
I love that. Make it immediate. Make it small. Make it aligned. Okay, one final thought to leave everyone with as they go take that action.
Just this. That potential you feel inside, that sense that there's more, it's real, it's yours to unleash. Don't settle for idling through life. Connect with your values, choose your direction, and take that first step. Your most vibrant, purposeful life isn't just a dream, it's waiting for you to actively create it. Dive in.